Breaking now on 4 News Now at 6, city and county law enforcement telling people it's time to move out of Camp Hope. Why camp organizers say these new flyers being handed out are not useful.
You might want to give yourself some extra time to scrape the ice off your car tomorrow morning because we have more freezing drizzle on the way. I'll tell you about a winter weather advisory and more snow in the first alert forecast.
And student journalists at the University of Idaho are also searching for answers in the murder of 4 of their classmates. The effect it's having on one of the students and his outlook for the future. You're watching 4 News Now at 6 o'clock.
We begin tonight with breaking news out of Moscow. Tomorrow morning, police will begin returning some of the personal belongings of the 4 students killed in their home back to their families. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor.
And I'm Aaron Luna. The Moscow police chief says this step is an important part of the healing process for the families of the victims.
It's important for us as a department to go in and take care of the families and get the items for them. I'm a dad. I understand the meaning behind some of those things. It may be something that we gave one of our children or something, and we're just trying to bring some of that healing.
Police say those items are no longer needed for the investigation. The items will be moved to a secure location until the families can pick them up.
And oftentimes you will hear us reporting that police are offering a reward for any information leading to an arrest. But the Idaho State Police say that would do more harm than good in this case.
At times when there is a reward or money offered, that the quantity and quality of tips actually degrade a little bit. And so people are trying to provide information that may not even be what would be a reasonable tip just to see if there's some money available to them.
Police have released limited updates over the last few days with no murder weapon, no suspects. Fear and frustration continue to spread across the community of Moscow, but investigators say they are working around the clock to find the killer.
This is a very active case. We're doing a lot of work. Granted, not a lot of it that can be seen in public, but behind the scenes, there's a lot of people working on this case, and we're going to continue.
If you have information or tips, pictures, videos, you can email all of that to tipline@ci.moscow.id.us. That email address right on your screen, or call the number 208-883-7180. Police say every bit of information helps.
Investigators are still piecing together the timeline of events leading up to the murders. That could lead to key evidence. We've created a timeline that investigators are working with, and we will update it as we learn more. You can find that. It's on our front page at KXLY.com.
Well, as Chris just mentioned at the top of the newscast, we all need to be a little bit early tomorrow. We need to prepare because the ice is going to lead to those windshields being a little frozen.
Yeah, I think the word we're using is frizzle.
That's a good one.
Freezing drizzle. We'll send it over to Chris Crocker with that first alert forecast.
Much more succinct than freezing drizzle, freezing fog, snow flurries. We could see any combination of those tonight through tomorrow morning. And that is why a winter weather advisory goes into effect at 9 o'clock tonight and continues through noon. Especially untreated streets, sidewalks, and parking lots are prone to get a light glaze of this precipitation, and something to keep in mind, especially for pedestrians. Temperatures right now, 23 in Spokane. It's 25 degrees in Coeur d'Alene. We're in the 20s throughout the Spokane area. In this particular type of weather pattern, we're not going to see much change from our current readings. Cooling down just a little bit and not much of a warm up tomorrow. We'll be topping out in the 30s. Here are 4 things to know about your forecast. Winter weather advisory for tonight. Freezing drizzle, freezing fog, and a few snow flurries. Very slick on untreated roads. And then the snow moves in. That's on Thursday. I'll let you know what to expect from that next storm on the way in just a few minutes. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. Well, just hours ago, multiple vehicles from the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, SPD, and Spokane Valley PD were around Camp Hope. Officers were inside handing out flyers, which say that the camp will be closed, but it doesn't specify any specific dates. Camp managers and WashDOT said the visit was a complete surprise.
Yeah, they said they only knew officers were on the way just hours before they showed up. Bronte Saratsky is live at Camp Hope and has what we know so far. Bronte.
Well, Aaron, when we arrived at Camp Hope, multiple law enforcement agencies had lined the perimeter, and camp managers in WashDOT said they didn't know that officers were going to be entering the camp, handing out these flyers saying that the camp is going to need to close. Now, the flyer reads that the camp is to close and that people can find alternative shelter at the Trent Resource and Assistance Center or at any of the city's additional emergency shelters. On the back of the flyer is information about mental health and addiction services, as well as where to find free meals. Now, when we tried to talk to camp managers for more information as to what was going on, they told us they didn't know much either, except that more law enforcement than normal was present and that they went inside of the camp and started handing out these flyers. Now, Maurice Smith says they have been sending people to Trent and plan to send more to the newly opened Catalyst, but says all this did was scare people living in the camp.
And having 12 officers come through the camp just scares the heck out of our people. It's not good for their mental health. Now they think they're about to be swept out of the camp, and they're scared to death. And that's not fair. It's not fair to scare people.
Now, we reached out to SPD, the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, as well as the city. Spokane police tell me this visit was to let people know that the camp is going to close and to make them aware of other options, although there is no set date as to when this camp will close. The Sheriff's Office says that deputies were there today to make people aware of the options that they have when it comes to resources in the city. Reporting live in East Central, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Bronte, thank you. Well, since 5 o'clock, we've received a statement from WashDOT saying, in part, the action the city and county decided to take today is extremely disappointing. And WashDOT goes on to say the actions today is only instilling fear into those who are there. Well, police arrested a man for firing more than a dozen shots near Riverfront Park this morning. Witnesses say they heard around 18 shots just before 8 a.m. Police arrested 45-year-old Benjamin Crowfoot near the park's entrance. He's charged with 3 counts of first-degree assault, 28 counts of reckless endangerment, and 1 count of unlawful discharge of a firearm. Police say no one was hit by the gunfire. Officers say Crowfoot pointed his weapon at 3 people. One car hit a parking meter as the driver tried to get away from Crowfoot. A Gonzaga University baseball coach pleads guilty to reckless driving.
Reardon police arrested Mark Mactoff for DUI back in June. They say he had a blood alcohol level of 0.284. That's nearly 3.5 times the legal limit. Late last month, Mactoff and the prosecutors reached an agreement. Mactoff only had to plead guilty to an amended charge of reckless driving. The GU coach was ordered to serve 364 days in jail, with all but 2 of those days suspended. Court records show he's ordered to report to jail on December 9th. A judge also ordered Mactoff to pay $1,500 in fines, serve 24 months probation, and undergo an alcohol evaluation.
The Seahawks made a stop in the Inland Northwest and surprised kids at Sacred Heart Children's Hospital. Why one player says these kinds of experiences are so special to him.
And from suspicious links to posing as an actual bank, scammers are finding more ways to convince you to hand over your money. Tips to protect yourself coming up next on 4 News Now at 6.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
Save your greed!
The doctor will see you now.
But do they really? Do they see all that you are? At Kaiser Permanente, all of us work together to care for all that is you. Kaiser Permanente.
Every winter, Spokane remembers why Ford trucks and SUVs are needed.
Traction in the snow.
Power for the road.
And fun off the road.
And when you think these things, you think Wendell Ford.
Escape, Explorer, Expedition.
And don't forget about the F-150.
Many cars include factory rebates and financing as low as 0.9% for 36 months.
Put getting stuck in the snow in your rearview mirror.
Swing by Wendell Ford at the Y on North Division and drive for generations.
The 4 News Now Extreme team making spirits bright. Again this year, we'd like to thank ACE and Horizon Credit Union for lightening and brightening the lives of those kids and families who have to be in Sacred Heart Children's Hospital. The 4 News Now Extreme team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Parents and grandparents hear it time and time again. Enjoy every minute because it goes by so quickly. With their first steps, they start imagining, exploring, and dreaming of what's next? You can help put those dreams in motion by saving for college with Washington's 529 College Investment Plan. Building their Dream Ahead account now can help them be ready for wherever their dreams take them. Give your student the gift of education today at wastate529.wa.gov.
Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning is your family-owned and operated #1 HVAC contractor in the Northwest. Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning would like to introduce our own carbon reduction program. Buy a new energy-efficient furnace from Bill's Heating and receive a matching air conditioner with installation absolutely free. No hidden fees, no conditions, no exceptions. Buy a furnace, get a free AC from Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call today for estimates and repairs.
Hey, Greens. How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
A few Seattle Seahawks players paid a visit to the patients at Providence Sacred Heart Children's Hospital in Spokane today. This annual tradition started in 2018. It's been on hiatus for the last couple of years because of COVID.
And Sports Director Julian Minensone caught up with the players about what it means to give back. Julian, we were talking about this story earlier and how a lot of things went on hiatus during the pandemic, and then they didn't come back. But this one did come back.
Yeah, in a big way, too. The players said the community efforts are important. And for the Seahawks who are stationed in Seattle, it's important not just in Seattle, but across the state because they have fans everywhere. Wide receivers Penny Hart and Derek Young visited about 40 patients at the hospital today. The players signed autographs, took pictures, and gave out Seahawks memorabilia. Now, to these patients, the Seahawks are role models, but the players say the patients are just as inspiring.
When you see somebody smile at you and the joy that they give you, it's like sometimes you're wondering, how can you see this amount of joy in me when you might not feel like you're the best of yourself? So being able to see those smiles to them, like I said, it does a lot.
And the plan is for this tradition to continue for years to come, so that's good news, and we will have that full story coming up later in sports.
Julian, thank you. It's the season of giving and apparently the season of wasting as well. Researchers at Stanford say between Thanksgiving and the New Year, people throw away 25% more trash. That equals about 25 million extra tons of garbage. Spokane Refillery in downtown Spokane is a business trying to change this trend during the holidays and beyond. The shop is a refill station, meaning you can bring a jug or jar and fill up on numerous household supplies like soaps, shaving creams, cleaners. The owner says you can also find gifts that won't go to waste.
It's good for the environment. If you're gifting it to someone, it's really just opening that door for them. You're really getting, depending on what it is, a forever product. If you get them a stasher bag or the reusable paper towels, they're gonna have those forever.
Hannah Nelson says the holidays are a great time to introduce your friends and family to simple changes that will go a long way to help the environment.
And here at 4 News Now, we're teaming up with the Salvation Army to make sure everyone in our community has a gift under the tree. You could drop off a toy Friday at any Spokane or Spokane Valley Fred Meyer store, and the Salvation Army will make sure it gets to someone in need. Gifts should be unwrapped, and if you need to, you can buy them right there at the store. You can shop for anyone from a newborn to vulnerable senior citizen. The toy drive is from 9 until 6 on Friday. You can find out more information and the exact store locations right on our website, kxly.com.
This year, scams are at an all-time high, and experts say they're more sophisticated than ever.
I think in years past, you had a person sitting in their parents' basement, maybe with a hoodie. Things have changed dramatically. It is an organized crime.
Social media is a goldmine for scammers, so beware of ads containing suspicious links. Check that you're on the official store website and look out for fraudsters posing as banks or retailers claiming your order didn't go through.
Keep in mind that no financial institution will call and ask you for your credentials. No financial institution or store will ask you for your username, your password. They're not going to ask you to transfer data or transfer money into different accounts.
When possible, pay with a credit card for better fraud protection instead of debit or prepaid cards. And trust your gut. If a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Overcast conditions tomorrow with some light freezing drizzle to start the day. Maybe a snow flurry on an isolated basis. High temperature of 30 degrees. Then the snow moves in on Thursday. I'll let you know what to expect after the break.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Shriners Children's Spokane, the most amazing care anywhere.
The world's greatest magicians come together live on stage for a holiday spectacular. The Illusionist Magic of the Holidays.
December 26th at First Interstate Center. Buy now at ticketswest.com.
It's time to replace your old tub with a new shower. But you don't want the hassle or the worry of getting it finished. You just want to pick a style and relax, knowing that it'll be wonderful when it's done. Is that too much to ask? No, actually it's not. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,250 off your complete bathroom remodel.
Hello, I'm Lloyd Herman. If you need legal assistance due to an accident or an injury, put my 40 years of experience of dealing with the insurance companies to work for you. You'll have an appointment to speak to me within 48 hours. Lloyd Herman & Associates, 922-6600.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader. It goes like one margarita.
Bluebird in my heart. Baby, you're playing hard to forget.
The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
It's time to say yes to your healthcare story. The Washington Health Plan Finder helps you find new health plan options like Cascade Care. These plans cover primary care visits, mental health services, and generic drugs all before meeting a deductible. Start your next chapter off right by enrolling in your 2023 health plan at wahealthplanfinder.org. Don't wait until it's too late. Enroll now.
Looking for some fun? Then come play for the day at the Coeur d'Alene Casino and discover new ways to win big inside the new Discovery Den, the first and only video game testing room in the U.S. with many of the top manufacturers in the world under one roof, where you get to play them first and decide which games stay and which ones don't. You will set the trends for the future of gaming, only at the Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Welcome home.
The thermometer didn't have to do much work today, only a 3-degree climb from 21 to start the day, 24. The high temperature, 359 our sunset today, 22 for an overnight low tonight. Freezing drizzle and flurries and that winter weather advisory in effect. I understand this morning, especially slick on the West Plains. There'll be pockets where the roads will be very slick again tomorrow, particularly those untreated roads and sidewalks and parking lots, and there'll be some scraping to do on windows. 30 for a high tomorrow with morning freezing drizzle, and then we'll be overcast. Our forecast radar doesn't pick up that freezing drizzle. A few snow flurries possible. Here's 1 a.m. tonight. It is showing widespread low clouds and fog across the region through the day on Wednesday. It's going to be another gray day. And then our first of several systems moves through. 10 o'clock Thursday morning with some light snow. We'll keep that chance of snow going with a break during the day Thursday. More snow coming in Thursday night and into Friday. We'll zoom out here. This computer model picks up where the last one left off Thursday at 6 o'clock, keeping that chance of snow going through Friday morning. Then we get another break. Here's Friday at 6 o'clock. The next system coming in as we get into Saturday with another chance of moderate snow accumulation. There's another system behind that one coming in for the start of the week. So we've got a fair amount of snow to move through. It's not coming, it doesn't look like, in one big swoop. However, this is an initial look at some of the predicted snowfall totals. This will likely change between now. This is for that first system Thursday into Friday morning. Friday at 10 a.m. showing the heavier snow totals from the Palouse up through the central panhandle. Right now in the Spokane area looks in the 2 to 4 inch range. But again, we'll be updating that as the system approaches, keeping you updated 24 hours a day on the 4 News Now First Alert weather app. Lows tonight will not be much cooler than our current readings. We'll be in the 20s around the region. High temperatures tomorrow. This will largely depend on how socked in we are with the low clouds and fog. Like today, we may stay in the 20s. 30 would be at the high end of our temperatures. 34 in Coeur d'Alene, 32 in Pullman, 37 tomorrow in Lewiston. Lots of 20s on the map. Here's a look at your planning forecast. So the timing right now looks like Thursday morning into Friday morning for a chance of snow. Another system coming in during the day on Saturday. Lingering showers on Sunday with another system to start the day. We start to warm up a little bit, may even get above freezing on Saturday, but there is cooler weather ahead next week with highs only in the 20s. Aaron?
Chris, thank you. The murder of 4 U of I students has taken a toll on the inland Northwest. The case is being covered by reporters from across the country, and those with ties to the U of I community say it's been an emotional process so far.
KXLY's Jordan Smith sat down with one journalist who works for the school newspaper.
I'm here on the third story of the Pippin Center, where student journalists for the Argonaut come to work. I sat down with one journalist earlier today asking about what it was like for him to report on a story so close to home, and with so many rumors swirling, what it's like for the student body to be turning to him for answers. In Daniel Ramirez's time with the Argonaut, no story has been like the one unfolding on Queen Road.
It's frightening to think that like 4 of my peers were murdered.
He's a student journalist with the century-old news organization, along with 15 other students vying for a job in the news industry post-graduation. He says from day one, they've witnessed a storm of misinformation, the student body not knowing what to believe.
With everyone asking us what happened, what do we know, friends coming to us and asking, hey, what do you guys know? Like, should we be, like, what do we need to do to be safe? Stuff like that.
And so they turn to him and the news team at the Argonaut. The story has attracted media teams across the country to come to Moscow, some of which with predatory reporting behavior.
There were so many reporters and national news outlets out here just harassing students, as well as people just kind of preying on the vulnerability of the town.
And so, despite having an emotional tie to the community and the student body, Ramirez has put his emotions on the back burner, working to get students and the community the right information.
We want to give them the right information, the correct information, and not cause any more harm to the families or friends of the victims.
Though he admits it's hard to shelve all the emotions that come with a story like this.
It's taxing on you, and it wears on your just your mind and your body, just like everything like that, to keep that internally and not let that show.
Saying the vigil was the moment he finally did.
You know, myself, I do care about this town. I do care about the people that live here. And it's hard to sit there and having to listen to a parent talk about their child and not get emotional.
Though as this story progresses, he will continue to prioritize the facts and to serve this community the best way he can.
And serve them as best as we can for the past 124 years that the Argonaut has existed.
Still ahead, a ceremony to honor the officers who protected the Capitol during the January 6th insurrection, what Congress said about their bravery that day.
And more women are speaking out against Bill Cosby. Details on their lawsuit next.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Healthy communities need more than health care. This is MultiCare. We're here for you.
At Providence, we've been investing in the health of the community and raising the standard of care for over 160 years. And we are honored to bring you top-rated Medicare Advantage coverage. Providence plans start at just $0, include dental, hearing, and vision, and connect you to a network of thousands of local providers. Providence. Join us as we make communities stronger by building true health together.
Welcome to Coeur d'Alene Honda, home of the lifetime warranty.
Well, hi. Hey, I'm looking for a new Honda, but I heard some dealers are charging outrageous prices.
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we're not doing that. With us, it's business as usual.
That's a relief.
And we include a lifetime warranty at no additional cost.
We are a family-owned dealership, and our reputation is far more valuable than overcharging our customers.
We want to be here for you today, tomorrow, and in the future.
And don't forget about our lifetime warranty.
Call today for our available inventory and check out our website at cdahonda.com.
From all of us at Mountain West Bank, to all of you, wishing you the happiest of holidays. Today, tomorrow, together.
This is it, the moment you've been waiting for. Game day. No, game days. More than you can count. And at Turf Club Sportsbook, we've got all the action with real sports betting, wall-to-wall HD TVs, and luxury seating. Just off the casino floor at Northern Quest, so you can bet, watch, and win on every game day. Turf Club Sportsbook, the ultimate game changer, only at Northern Quest.
4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
Around the nation, Bill Cosby is now facing new accusations of sexual assault. 5 women, including 2 former actresses on The Cosby Show, filed a lawsuit against the comedian under a new look-back law in New York. It gives adult survivors of sex abuse a 1-year window to sue their abusers, even if the statute of limitations has expired. The women filing the suit accuse Cosby of assault, battery, infliction of emotional distress, and false imprisonment dating back decades. New tonight at 6. Congress held a gold medal ceremony to honor law enforcement officers who protected the U.S. Capitol during the January 6th insurrection.
It was a day unlike any other in our nation's history. And for us, it was a day defined by chaos, courage, tragic loss, and resolve. I cannot thank our officers enough for their courage, for their resolve, in order to help us protect the Capitol and the Congress from such a horrific attack.
Every Capitol Police officer, Washington, D.C. officer, and every agent who responded received a medal, which is the highest honor Congress can give. During the ceremony, many of the lawmakers who were in the Capitol during the attack thanked them for their service.
On that day, democracy faced maximum danger. These heroes responded with maximum valor, and all of us in the Senate and across the Capitol complex are forever in their debt.
During the presentation, the mother of one of the officers who died during the attack refused to shake hands with 2 Republican lawmakers, calling them two-faced because they continued to support former President Donald Trump, who she blames for the attack.
Pfizer's countersuing Moderna over its patent infringement claims against them. This all started when Moderna sued Pfizer in August, saying the company violated patents on 3 key innovations on their COVID vaccines. In their countersuit, Pfizer asked the court to dismiss Moderna's lawsuit. Moderna is also in a public dispute with the National Institutes of Health over intellectual property rights. Around the world tonight, as Russia launches missile attacks primarily targeting civilian infrastructure, the Russian Defense Ministry accuses Ukraine of a pair of suspected drone strikes on Russian air bases. Ukraine has not confirmed the attacks. Chris Wynn has more from Washington.
Following the latest round of Russian missile attacks, several regions throughout Ukraine are facing interruptions to power and water amid freezing temperatures. The attacks come after Moscow accused Ukraine of using drones, which Russia says it intercepted, to attack 2 air bases deep within Russian territory Monday. Ukraine has neither confirmed nor denied responsibility. Tuesday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky visited wounded soldiers in the northeastern Kharkiv region to mark the country's Armed Forces Day. This after meeting with troops in the Donbass region of eastern Ukraine, which has been the front line of the country's conflict with Russia since 2014.
The path to Independence Square and our independence lies through a free Donetsk, Luhansk, and of course Crimea. All actions lead to freedom, all steps lead to victory and free, peaceful, independent Ukraine.
As the war rages on, Russian and Ukrainian authorities confirmed Tuesday the exchange of 120 people in a prisoner swap. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is warning that Russia could seek a phony off-ramp to the war that would not produce durable peace, but allow Russian troops to regroup and attack Ukraine again.
At some point, this will end, and it will end almost certainly with diplomacy, with a negotiation. But what I think we have to see is a just and durable peace, not a phony peace.
In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
The polls are now closed, and we are now waiting for the results of the U.S. Senate race in Georgia.
Why this runoff election was necessary and what a win could mean for the Republican Party coming up just ahead.
The fire did about $10,000 in damage to a small family farm on South Hill. Then coming up, how this fire started and why farm's owner says he's so grateful to the community.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Our family is all over the place sometimes, but ICCU helps us keep up with them. We use card control to turn on Olive's debit card when she needs to pay for activities.
And turn it off when she's shopping online.
We make sure Forrest is depositing his lawn mowing checks into his college fund. And we definitely make sure to ask Grandma Ivy where all those Zelle transfers come from. Phew, was a lot of keeping up. Ready for a break?
Hello, I'm Diamond Dan Clark.
And I'm Jeweler Jane.
And we're from Clark's Diamond Jewelers in beautiful downtown Coeur d'Alene.
Our famous snow promotion is back for Christmas.
If it snows 5 inches or more in 24 hours on January 7th, 2023, all purchases made at Clark's between November 19th and December 31st will be refunded in full. And that means all engagement rings, loose diamond and gemstones, jewelry and gifts could all be free.
Shop Clark's Diamond Jewelers this Christmas and let it snow diamonds.
Tomorrow on GMA, wake up with Catherine Zeta-Jones live, plus her, and Backstreet's Back All Right.
Good morning, America!
With a special holiday performance from the Backstreet Boys.
I love it.
All live on Good Morning America.
Welcome the best time of year with us at Sage Boutique and Just Because Fashions. Let us help you find the perfect gift for loved ones. Make her holiday sparkle with jewelry that is sure to delight her, clothing she'll love, and brighten handbags that will carry her into the new year. Be inspired to wrap up the holidays with us at Just Because Fashions and Sage Boutique, where you will find the best and brightest gifts this holiday season, located in the Hayden Creek Plaza in Hayden, Idaho.
The doctor will see you now. But do they really? Do they see that crick in your neck? That ache in your heart? Will they see that funny little thing that wasn't there last year? The new bounce in your step? The way your retinal scan connects to your blood sugar? At Kaiser Permanente, all of us work together to care for all that is you.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXOY.com denominated. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Votes are in the process of being counted in what's been a hard-fought battle for the U.S. Senate seat in Georgia.
Well, the race is still too close to call, with Republican candidate and former NFL star Herschel Walker leading with 50.1% of the vote. Incumbent Raphael Warnock can still catch up with only 76% of the votes counted. Tonight at 6:30, CNN's Yvonne Rodriguez explains why this election was necessary and how the results could impact Democrats' ability to pass new laws.
In the battleground state of Georgia, voters once again have the final say of the election season.
Being out here to see Senator Warnock and having him kind of be part of the voice that we've been wanting for so long here in Atlanta.
When Herschel decided to run for Senate, it was a no-brainer for us.
Neither incumbent Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock nor his Republican challenger, former football great Herschel Walker, were able to bag more than 50% of the votes in November's general election, stoking an extra month-long fight for Warnock's U.S. Senate seat.
I can't. I can't.
I can't.
I can't.
I can't vote
for Herschel Walker.
Warnock thought no one was watching when he evicted poor people from their homes.
The runoff is high stakes for both parties. If Walker wins, the Senate will be evenly split. If Warnock wins, Democrats will have the majority outright and won't have to rely on the vice president to break tie votes.
The stakes couldn't be higher. I represent the great people of Georgia.
Now, with the finish line in sight and early voting shattering state records last week, the Secretary of State says he's expecting a similar turnout today.
We've actually already had 80,000 people that voted in this runoff that didn't vote in the fall at all. So that's what you're really seeing is people that were kind of sitting back and watching things are getting engaged in this race. So we think both sides are energized.
In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Fewer public services will soon be going to the Kalispell tribe following a vote overnight by the Airway Heights City Council. The council pointed to more than $1.5 million in contract payments the tribe owes, saying the city cannot afford to subsidize the high volume of police and fire calls coming from tribal property. So starting December 31st, the city will only respond to police, fire, and emergency calls from tribal property where there's an imminent threat to human life. The Kalispell tribe is calling the vote, quote, an unfortunate decision, saying, quote, the city of Airway Heights has failed to provide the services the Kalispell tribe has contracted and paid for. The Kalispell tribe has been attempting to work with the city to amicably resolve the issue. Unfortunately, the city's actions appear to be an attempt to circumvent this process using public threats to extract disputed payments from the tribe, end quote. The Kalispell tribe owns 40 acres of land for its casino operations and 250 acres of land within the city limits allocated for commercial, residential, and industrial uses.
Here for things to know about your weather. We have a winter weather advisory, goes into effect at 9 o'clock tonight and continues through noon tomorrow for the potential of freezing drizzle, freezing fog, and some very light snow flurries. That will be very slick on untreated roads as well as sidewalks. Watch out in parking lots, and your windshield may need scraped in the morning. Then we have snow on the way on Thursday. A winter weather advisory is for the area shaded in purple on your screen. Does not include the Washington Palouse, but the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, as well as parts of the Northeast Mountains and North Idaho. In your Wednesday planner, temperatures will remain below freezing from the mid-20s at 6 a.m. to only 30 degrees for an afternoon high. I'll be back in just a few minutes to talk more about freezing drizzle and where it comes from in the first place in just a few minutes. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. A small family-owned farm on the South Hill is now dealing with quite a bit of cleanup following a fire.
It's going to cost the farm thousands of dollars. Tonight, the owner of Sweet Mercy Farm says the damage could have been a lot worse without neighbors' quick actions. Peter Choi explains how the fire started and why the owner is so grateful.
Fire caused major damage to this small local farm. And the owner of Sweet Mercy Farm on South Hill says with neighbors' help, they got the fire out quickly. And he says the community means everything to him.
You never really expect a fire to start, but especially when it's, 20 degrees outside, it wasn't even on our radar.
Sunday afternoon, Sweet Mercy farm owner Lucas Miranda got an unexpected call from his neighbor.
We saw the black smoke coming up from Sweet Mercy Farms, and we knew the area, so we knew it wasn't good.
The neighbor said the property caught fire. Miranda says firefighters and neighbors got the fire out before he got home.
One neighbor called, and then our other neighbor got a snow shovel and came over and started throwing snow on the fire.
With neighbors' quick thinking, the fire was out quickly.
If our neighbors didn't see the fire, we weren't planning on being home for hours, so the damage would have been probably even much worse.
Miranda says the fire damage was over $10,000.
And this is a whole box, and it's just completely melted.
Including?
This part of our greenhouse is really a critical part of our production. We used to do all of our seed starting in here, so come February, we have to have this up and running.
And he's still figuring out all the damages left and hoping to get things back to normal by early next year. He says the community support for his farm and family has been pouring since the fire. The neighbor says this farm does more than sell produce.
Yeah, the kids love it. They let them play on their trampoline and play with, they have a little kid, so they let them run around and play, and they're welcome to answer questions and stuff.
They're reaching out to us in every way that they have, whether it's social media, or phone calls, text messages, emails, everything. It really means so much to us.
In Spokane, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
New tonight at 6:30, the Washington State Department of Transportation is asking for your input on the designs of new twin bridges and intersection in Colfax. The new bridges and intersection would be built on the north end of town on Highway 26 and 195. Thursday, WashDOT will be hosting an open house to talk about their design options. It starts at 4 o'clock near the Whitman County Library on Main Street. For more information on that open house and a link to their designs, look for this story right now on KXLY.com.
Also new tonight, oil prices have dropped to just over $74 a barrel. That's the lowest price of the year so far. The drop comes even as the European Union and the West implemented new restrictions on oil from Russia. But anxiety about the surprisingly good health of the economy overshadowed concerns about a possible supply crunch.
And that means we should start to see the prices at the pump start to drop in the near future. Right now in Idaho, you can expect to pay around $3.92 a gallon. You'll want to fill up in Kootenai County, which has some of the lowest prices in the state, averaging around $3.55. Prices are a bit higher in Washington, averaging around $4.27 a gallon and $4.09 in Spokane County. Holiday shopping is at the top of everyone's to-do list, and we have tips on what you should and should not buy to keep your little ones safe.
Seattle Seahawks visited Sacred Heart Children's Hospital in Spokane. We hear from one patient who is excited to meet some of his favorite players.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Fairway Floor.
The 4 News Now Extreme Team making spirits bright. Again this year, we'd like to thank ACE and Horizon Credit Union for lightening and brightening the lives of those kids and families who have to be in Sacred Heart Children's Hospital. The 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
Oh, life. To care is our calling. Your well-being our primary concern. Dedicated doctors meeting your needs wherever you are. World-class healthcare within easy reach. Providence. We see the life in you.
Come in and discover the best holiday shop in town, Madison Home Market. Madison Home Market, an expansion of Madison Home, is the perfect place to find holiday gifts and bring home festive decor to warm your home. Beautifully redesigned Madison Home Market is filled with holiday cheer. From unique furniture to one-of-a-kind ornaments, you're sure to find something special to enjoy this season and many more to come. Celebrate the holidays with Madison Home Market on the corner of Medilia and North Foothills Drive.
Considering selling your RV? R&R wants it. Tired of paying storage fees? R&R needs it. Just don't use it anymore? R&R will buy it. Due to a critical shortage of pre-owned RVs, R&R RV is currently paying absolute top dollar for your used RV. Any year, any make, any model. Turn your RV into cash or flip it for a newer model. So if you no longer use it or want it, let R&R RV buy it. Visit the R&R RV Superstore in North Spokane or call Ryan at 509-244-5888.
You've been hearing about it, and now we've got it at Post Falls Volkswagen, the ID4 electric SUV. This SUV has a space, warranty, technology that buyers want at a price that's competitive.
Come into Post Falls Volkswagen and reserve your ID4 electric SUV, and we'll fill up your gas tank. It's easy to reserve yours. Come into Post Falls Volkswagen and get started and never feel the pain at the pump again.
The ID4 electric SUV, see it and reserve yours today at Post Falls Volkswagen.
The police chief who talked your way out of a ticket.
I'm the police chief.
Next, Inside Edition. Wait till you see what happened when she was pulled over in a golf cart with her husband.
I'm hoping that you'll just let us go.
She got into real trouble and is no longer top cop. Then, the big Avatar sequel, Gamble. How it has to make $2 billion just to break even. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
We have a consumer alert tonight. Take a look in your fridge before you pack your next lunch for school or maybe for work. Kraft Heinz Foods Company is recalling some of its ready-to-eat Oscar Mayer ham and cheese loaf. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says the products may have fallen victim to cross-contamination with under-processed material, so you're advised to return the loaf for a refund or just throw it out.
Ooh, it is my mother's 89th birthday, so I'm not going to make any comments about her school lunches and the role that Oscar Mayer ham and cheese played.
It's probably a smart decision.
Add a little mayo on Wonder Bread and you're set to study. 22 for an overnight low tonight. Freezing drizzle, fog, flurries, freezing fog, all adding up to some slick spots on the roadways. Possibility of some morning freezing drizzle. And freezing drizzle is tricky. It doesn't really show up on radar very well, if at all. It is difficult to predict, does not necessarily show up in a lot of our computer model forecasting, and the conditions have to be right on a microphysics level. So it is tricky, and it does not form like our other precipitation types. Here's a look at some popular precipitation types and the cross-section of the atmosphere. Rain starts as snow, gets into the warm air, melts into rain. With freezing rain, which is awfully close to freezing drizzle in the result, but forms very differently, falls as snow, melts into rain, and then falls into that freezing level at the surface, refreezing onto surfaces. Snow, it's cold air all the way top to bottom, falls as snow, stays as snow. Now, with freezing drizzle, it does not form up in these clouds higher in the atmosphere, but right at the surface. And temperatures below zero, and water does not freeze just because the temperature drops 0 Celsius, but below 32 degrees. It can stay as liquid, supercooled liquid, to 40 below Fahrenheit, 40 below Celsius. And what we have is this fog layer and stratus layer that is so prevalent in the inland Northwest this time of year with all this moisture, and it produces these super cool water droplets that freeze on contact anytime they touch your car, the roads, sidewalks and parking lots. So that is what we are dealing with right now. Now, if those super cooled water droplets find little particles in the air, you may end up with some snow flurries. They have to have a condensation nuclei to do that. That is why this is a little bit trickier to forecast than other precipitation types where you've got a front coming in, and that's what we have on the way. Not tonight. Few snow flurries possible in the central panhandle and in the Coeur d'Alene area. But as we get into Thursday, we see the front moving in, bringing some snow along with it. That chance of snow will continue through Friday morning with snowfall totals right now. It looks like into 2 to 4 inch range, more in the central panhandle, right around the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area. The heavier totals in North Idaho. We're not done with the snow after that. We have another system coming in Saturday, potentially another on Monday. What we don't have is a big warm-up coming in the forecast. Looks like 33 is all we're going to manage on Saturday. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. And speaking of all of those wintry temperatures, if you're planning any wintry activities this weekend, make sure you're also set for safety. Hundreds of thousands of people end up in the emergency room every year after getting hurt in their winter sports. Slips, trips, and falls lead to tears, broken bones, and even some serious long-term injuries. Head injuries are one of the most common things doctors treat this time of year, and you can get one from an activity as simple as sledding.
We think about sledding as a fun childhood activity, but we really do have to be careful when it comes to hitting any trees, any poles, even if you fall in a certain way, to protect that head.
Local doctors recommend helmets, wrist guards, and plenty of stretching. Most importantly, don't push it. Listen to your body and call it quits when your body starts to get tired.
A new at 6:30. It looks like mom was right after all. Bundle up or you're going to catch a cold. Germs that cause colds are in the air year-round, so why do we seem to get sick more in the winter? A new study in the Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology found it may be disappointingly simple. Colds are caused by the cold and the effect it has on your nose. According to the study, the chilly air damages the immune response in the nostrils. In fact, reducing the temperature by as little as 9 degrees inside the nose kills nearly half of its virus and bacteria fighting cells. Medical experts are calling the finding a scientific breakthrough.
As you shop for gifts this holiday season, it's important to remember that they need to be safe for the person that you're buying them for. The latest report from the Consumer Product Safety Commission found there were more than 152,000 toy-related ER-related injuries in children younger than 15 years old last year. The report found that non-motorized scooters continue to be the category of toy that led to the most injuries in kids.
If you choose a riding toy such as a scooter, bicycle, skateboard, be sure to also include the safety gear that goes along with it.
And that includes a well-fitting helmet and other safety pads. When it comes to children under the age of 3, keep small balls and toys with small parts, as well as those button batteries, out of reach. Instead, pick age-appropriate toys.
And here is a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Great Floors is celebrating the holidays with huge savings on flooring for your home. Great Floors offers an incredible selection and 12-month financing. Shop exclusive savings on Mohawk flooring, including 10% on Revwood Ultra Laminate. Mohawk delivers style and confidence in withstanding the twists, turns, and spills of daily family life. Great Floors experts will help you find the perfect flooring for your home. Visit a showroom today and celebrate coming together on Great Floors.
Why wash your vehicle in the winter? To prevent auto body and mechanical damage. Winter means harmful road chemicals, grime, and slush constantly attacking your vehicle.
At Car Wash Plaza, we feature the region's best complete touchless system. It cleans your entire vehicle, removing built-up grime and magnesium chloride chemicals.
Let's work together to maintain your vehicle's looks and value.
Find a location near you at carwashplaza.com.
When COVID hit, we were scrambling to figure out what are we going to do. Literally got phone call from Numerica. Hey, we just want to let you know we're here for you. We've got funding that we're sending your way. And I mean, I cried on the phone.
It's just nice to have a place that can give you some sort of stability and hope and get you back on track to where you need to be. Thank you so much for all your support. It actually means something greatly to us.
It's official. So many people are winning thousands of dollars every day at the Kootenai Casino that we're calling it the Winter of Winning. With Plinko money up for grabs in December and Kootenai Falls Lodge rooms at just $79 weekdays or $99 on weekends, you have better than a snowball's chance for fun. Be part of our Winter of Winning. And book your December getaway by calling 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
At Move Fitness, our gyms are designed to keep you moving. From the energetic fun classes to our motivating trainers and state-of-the-art equipment, there's a reason we've been voted the #1 best gym year after year. And every day we come to work focused on you, our top priority, giving you the cleanest facilities for your workout goals. Come on, let's work out. Move Fitness.
4 News Now is brought to you by R&R RV.
The Seahawks have made their way to Spokane. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minenso. The Seattle Seahawks paid a visit to patients at Providence Sacred Heart Children's Hospital in Spokane today. This annual tradition started in 2018, but was on hiatus the last 2 years due to COVID. The Seahawks are back, and those same players who run for hundreds of yards each week traveled hundreds of miles to make someone's day.
Block. Going deep downfield.
The Seattle Seahawks are known for making a difference as receivers.
Touchdown Seahawks.
This time, they're making a difference by giving to others.
Would you like this?
Yeah.
You would? Giving hope and putting smiles on anybody's faces that I can. I never got a chance, meet an NFL athlete. So me being an NFL athlete now, I want to meet as many kids as I possibly can.
Like Central Valley High School's Brandon Thomas, who had lunch with the players from his favorite team.
As a young kid, I've always wanted to play in the NFL, so being with these guys is really cool to see because they're amazing people, and I want to be just like them.
2 years ago, Brandon lost his leg due to cancer.
My amputation never healed because I was going through chemo. Started to have seizures and different effects.
But that didn't stop Brandon from returning to the field. Brandon learned how to play with a prosthetic leg and finished his high school career.
Probably doesn't even know it, but he's inspiring me To hear about everything that he's gone through, to be where he is right now.
The Seahawks visited nearly 40 patients.
Merry Christmas. God bless y'all.
Brandon's triumph was just one of the many inspiring stories the players heard today.
When you see somebody smile at you and the joy that they give you, it's like sometimes you're wondering, how can you see this amount of joy in me when you might not feel like you're the best of yourself? So being able to see those smiles to them, like I said, it does a lot.
For the Seahawks, no big play could compare to the big smiles on the patients' faces.
It's the holidays, you want to be with your family, and you can't. And just taking time out of your week, out of our busy schedule, and just coming to see the kids, I know it's going to make their day.
The patients were able to get autographs, take pictures, and keep some Seahawks memorabilia with them, too. The plan is for the tradition to continue for years to come. Now, over to college hoops. Gonzaga women's basketball leads Queens University of Charlotte 37-23 at halftime. Yvonne Ejim is the leading scorer for the Bulldogs with 22 points. Gonzaga won 3 of its last 4 games coming into tonight, and we will have highlights and post-game reaction tonight on Nightside. And soon Washington State football will be running out of the tunnel at SoFi Stadium for the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. A couple of players on the team will enter that game with some more accolades to brag about. Cougars linebacker Dayon Henley was named to the All Pac-12 first team. Henley is the first linebacker to earn first team honors since 2003 from the Washington State program. Now, Henley is the second in Pac-12 in tackles right now. Defensive lineman Ron Stone Jr. and Brennan Jackson earned Pac-12 second team honors. Safety Jaden Hicks was named a freshman All-American. And that'll wrap us up for sports.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Next ET, we're around the world with the stars from the Avatar cast in London.
Everything about this was beautiful.
To France with the cast of Emily in Paris.
A lot of love geometry.
Plus holiday plans from Gwen Stefani.
We're gonna go big.
And the Idol judges.
Don't worry, we got this one.
Then our exclusive behind the scenes of the Whitney Houston biopic, Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Are you looking for a credit card with rewards? The new P1 FCU Premier Rewards MasterCard is here, just in time for the holiday season. Take advantage of 0% on new purchases for 6 months. Plus, get a 1.5% unlimited cash back on purchases. No points to count, special rules, or limits. It's simple, so go on. Reward yourself with the Premier Rewards MasterCard from P1 FCU. Apply online at p1fcu.org/rewards.
You didn't choose cat allergies, your hairline, or that thing when your knee just gives out for no reason. But you can choose your doctor who will care for all the things you didn't choose. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you.
How's everything going today?
Hey, Robert. We're good. Just checking in on that car loan we applied for.
No worries. Let me pull that up. Yep. Looks like you're approved and all set.
Hey, that's great news.
So, you headed over to the dealership now?
Yep. Just gotta make one stop first.
And we got a great rate, too.
What's the record for the biggest, most powerful spin? Come on!
Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, yes!
Winning money.
For charity.
Celebrity Wheel of Fortune holiday episode on a special night, tonight on ABC.
4 News Now is brought to you by Ironstone Furniture and Fire.
Let's get out there and tackle that frizzle head on, shall we?
Yes.
Let's start scraping the cars and heating up the seats and getting home in time for dinner.
Our tummies are rumbling.
Oscar Mayer for dinner.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.